Hello dear subscribers and other viewers. In this video, we will analyze all driver games on mobile and portable consoles. Quite a cool series of games came out. I remember this one also on PC. Driver, you are the wheelman. The game was released in 2000 for Game Boy Color. Here the player takes on the role of Tanner, a police officer who works undercover as a driver for a criminal syndicate to solve a major case. Several vehicles are available for use during the main story missions, and there are also mini-games such as Checkpoint, Pursuit, Survival, and Getaway. Unlike other versions, the GBC version has a top-down view, and the city of San Francisco is missing. The menu in the game is similar to the PC version. The first mission here is for time, and quite difficult. Created in 2D, and in terms of graphics, it is somewhat reminiscent of the first GTA with Game Boy Color, as well as the Grand Theft Auto mod for GTA 3. Driver to Advance. Released in 2002 for the Game Boy Advance. The portable version adapts the original storyline, but cuts it down considerably, presenting the gameplay in a graphics engine adapted for the portable platform. As in the original, the player controls undercover cop Tanner, who investigates the murder of a Brazilian criminal, which leads him to clash with both the Brazilian gang and the Chicago Mafia. While the original allowed players to move around for cities, the GBA version only has two, Chicago and Rio de Janeiro. The cities are rendered in 3D with textured maps, and cars and pedestrians are rendered as sprites. Driv 3R had two versions, for Java and Game Boy Advance. The first was made in 2D, and the second in 3D. The Java version was released in 2004 by Sorrent. The game has a top-down view. There are two modes, undercover and driving games. The roads in the game intersect at an angle of 90 degrees. There are no pedestrians. You can get out of the car, but the protagonist's capabilities in this case are quite limited. The game is quite difficult, and the controls are also difficult. There is no time limit in the initial missions. The game, as I understand it, takes place in the city of Miami, since there is a district called Little Havana in cutscenes just like in GTA Vice City. The Game Boy Advance version was released a year later, in 2005. The game had a third-person view. As in the original, the player controls the main character of the series, Tanner, who infiltrates the South Beach Gang, a group of car thieves based in Miami. While the original had 3 cities, Istanbul is missing from the GBA version. Only Miami and Nice remain. There are 25 missions in total, 12 in Miami, 13 in Nice. The graphics engine is similar to that used in earlier GBA games from developer Velez and Dubail, such as Veer Alley 3 and Stuntman, with environments modeled as 3D textures and cars and characters as sprites. Driver Vegas. The game was released in 2005 by Glimobile for Java-enabled phones. Tanner ups the anti-insane city for this all-new actiona driving adventure. Weave between cars on the strip, go off-limits on desert highways, and weave through treacherous canyon roads in deadly chases. Improved controls let you drift around corners, smoke tires, and lay down rubber. Blast your enemies with an arsenal of weapons. Even drive to the casino on foot. Steal any car, each with its own unique style and performance. Destroy the criminal syndicates of Vegas. I will add that the game is very similar to the Java version of Driv 3R. All the same top view, similar missions, and mechanics. Driver 76. Released in 2007 for the Sony PSP console. The first game in the series since Ubisoft acquired the license from Atari. It is a prequel to Driver, Parallel Lines, which takes place 2 years before the events and features 2 secondary characters from Parallel Lines, Ray controlled by the player and Slink. Ray has his eye on the daughter of a triad boss and tries to impress him by completing difficult tasks. Because of this, he gets into trouble with other gangs, and the story, divided into 6 chapters, is presented in comic book style. The game features 27 missions set across New York City, from New Jersey to Coney Island, with several distinct neighborhoods and over 40 customizable vehicles, from dirt bikes to sports cars and big trucks. plus some surprises like the Ecto-1 Ghostbusters, all with different controls. Players have complete freedom of movement, but the mission structure is linear. Tasks include timed runs, escorts, and evasion missions. Ray can also move on foot and wreak havoc with several weapons, as well as a fixed target feature. Driver LA Undercover, released in 2007 for Java and Brew phones by Gameloft. As in the console games, Tanner is the main character, and this time he has to infiltrate the criminal underworld of Los Angeles. The gameplay is similar to the Asphalt series, both in appearance, a mixture of 2D sprites and 3D objects, and in gameplay. Acceleration is automatic, and nitro boosters can be used to increase speed. The levels are open, but the mission structure is completely linear. In addition to racing, there are several shoot-'em-up sections where Tanner leaves his car. In these, the player must take cover and then aim and shoot at members of the enemy gang. While driving, it is also possible to shoot at enemy cars through the window. As the car gets damaged, it is necessary to stop at garages to repair it. It is also necessary to avoid police cars. One way is to stop at a station and give a bribe. Driver, released in 2009 for iOS and in 2010 for WebOS. Developed by Gameloft. You are Tanner, an undercover cop posing as a fugitive driver to uncover a national crime ring. The investigation will take you to Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York. A gripping story mode with 40 missions spanning for gigantic cities and additional modes to keep you interested. Training, free play, driving games, unprecedented driving physics, incredible stunts with sharp turns, dizzying jumps, and impressive crashes. Your car gets damaged and can potentially explode. The most realistic city environment on iPhone with updated graphics, detailed textures, and beautiful lighting effects. Each city has working traffic lights, wandering pedestrians, moving vehicles, and vigilant patrolling cops. A great soundtrack with 3 radio stations playing tracks inspired by 70s music. Driver Renegade, released in 2011 by Ubisoft for the Nintendo 3DS. Undercover cop John Tanner left the NYPD, but finds himself in debt to Senator Ballard after saving his life. Ballard offers him a chance to secretly clean up a crime scene in New York under his protection. Driver Renegade is an action racing game where the player must run criminals off the road. There are 20 missions to complete in the story mode, including car chases and destroying target cars, as well as escaping from pursuit. The career mode offers 7 categories of events to complete with 12 levels each, including time attack, freedom racing, where the player must reach a target but can choose any route around the city, and rampage, where they must destroy a certain number of enemies, among others. New cars are unlocked after completing missions. Driver San Francisco, released in 2011 on Java and Android. Made in 2D and published by Gameloft. The game is similar to the previous Driver mobile game, Driver LA Undercover, which in turn is similar to the Asphalt series from the same company. This means that the game uses a mixture of 2D sprites and 3D objects, acceleration is automatic, and nitro boosts can be collected and used for extra speed. The main difference is that the game is entirely dedicated to driving, without shooting sequences. In addition to the story missions, there is now also a free ride mode, in which the player can move around the city more freely. In free ride mode, there are various challenges and missions that he can take part in and earn money. The money can then be used to purchase new cars and upgrades, but first they need to be unlocked. Driver Speedboat Paradise, released in 2015 on iOS and Android. Developed by Ubisoft. Driver Speedboat Paradise is a speedboat racing game that uses the Driver Racing series name but has no connection to the story. The game features several locations such as the Bahamas, Bering Islands, Cancun, Egypt, Grand Canyon, Miami, Palm Beach, and Venice, with multiple racing events for each of them. Game modes for the events include classic multi-lap versus races, time trials, endurance races, eliminations, drag races, and duels. I bid you farewell now. Like, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends. See you soon.